Welcome to PDAC 2021 convention. We have an exciting convention planned for you and wanted to provide you a guide and some tips to help you to maximize your virtual experience. Before we begin, I want to remind you that we highly recommend that you utilize the browser Google Chrome to attend PDAC 2021. This will offer the best experience. As well, please ensure you have as strong an internet connection as is possible for you. Now, let's get started. This is our dashboard. It serves as the homepage for PDAC 2021. You'll see two main sections on this page. On the right is a snapshot of today's agenda. You won't actually be able to see any agenda items here today, considering convention has not yet begun. We'll show you the agenda in more detail later on. To the left of the snapshot of your agenda, you'll see this section called Explore the Virtual Experience. This highlights a few different areas that we think you might be interested in. When you click on the arrow here, you'll be able to see a really great video that'll highlight some of the features of the convention. Now, on the left-hand side, you'll see our navigation menu. This is present on all pages throughout the whole platform. At the top left, you'll see your name with your profile picture should you choose to set one up. Underneath, you'll see the words Edit Profile. I'm going to click there now and show you what we see. This is your profile. So this is where you will fill in all the information about yourself and select different preferences. On first login to the platform, you'll be prompted to fill out all of this information. Additionally, on your first login, you'll be asked to accept our terms and conditions, as well as our PDAC 2021 Code of Conduct, which we hope you'll review in detail. During that first login process, you'll be brought to a web page to test your video and audio to make sure it's working properly. This can also be accessed at any time by selecting the little camera icon that you'll see in the top left of that navigation menu. So if you ever need to go in and check that your camera and audio are working, that's the place to go. Next, let's visit the agenda. So on the left-hand navigation, you'll see the agenda button. When we select it, we're brought to the agenda. There are several different days here that you can look at. You're also able to use our filters here on the sidebar to search by program area or one of our tags. So for example, if I choose to filter to see only our cutting edge sessions, now I'll only have the days available where my cutting edge sessions are taking place. I can choose to favorite it by clicking the star icon right here. Now anything that I choose to favorite, I'll be able to access in my agenda. My agenda can be accessed right here on the sidebar. It will now only show you the sessions in which you have favorited, the ones in which you're most interested in attending. Next, I'll show you what a session page looks like. When I click on a session that has not yet started, as this session is taking place on Monday, March 8th, we are still a ways away from it beginning. 20 minutes before the session page will change. However, beforehand, you will just see a rather simple version of the session page that notes the title, the session time in my time zone, the date, the description, and even any associated speakers with the session. I will also be able to follow the session from here. It will also note that your session hasn't started yet and to check back when we get closer to the session start. So let me show you what a session looks like when we are actually close to the start time. I'll clear my filters on the agenda and go to this test sample session that we've set up here. If this was a real session, the only difference is that the presentation would be actively playing right now. Every session page will look very similar to this. So we will have at the very top of the screen a tech support button that if you select will bring up our tech support if you have any questions. Here is also the follow button where I can follow and unfollow the session. As well, there's a button here where I can maximize the video to view it in a larger screen. I also have the ability here to click the Add to Calendar button. This will be featured on every session page before or after the session takes place, where you can select to export this calendar item to your personal calendar. There is a speakers tab that will list all the speakers in the session and a downloads tab for any handouts associated with the session. Next, up on the top right, you'll see a panel of options. The first tab is the live chat, where you'll be able to enter messages into the group public conversation of everybody else present in the session. You can post to the chat yourself, or you may reply to somebody else's message by using this arrow icon and noting something. Second tab here is our Q&A tab. If you'd like to ask any questions to the speakers participating in the session, you can do so here. At the top is a space for you to enter your question itself. Below, you can scroll through any other questions that other people have asked. You can upvote their questions in order to mark it as a highly sought after question for the speakers to answer. You can also view any responses from a speaker in the session that they may have chosen to text type in. Further on this tab is a polls button where if there are any polls associated with the session, they would be viewable here. Here you can see I'm taking a poll, answering it, and finishing. If I would like to take some private notes on the session, I may use this Notes tab. I can type in any private notes that I may want to save for myself about the session and click Add Note. Now, any of these notes will become visible under your Notes section here on the left-hand side. When I select this, I will be able to see, for example, the note that I just wrote right now. I will be able to edit it and even download my notes at the end of convention to an Excel document for myself. Now we've gone through all the features of a presentation. I wanted to note to you that there's more programming offered than what can be found in this agenda alone. On the left-hand side, you will see if I scroll down here, two program areas called CPFI Showcase and the Student Minerals Colloquium. There's lots of really interesting information to be found there. If you choose to click on the Events and Entertainment page, you'll be brought to a page that'll provide you descriptions of all of our different events and entertainment offerings, as well as links to each of their session pages. Similarly, the programming page here will provide a description of each of the different program areas that we have to offer and the kinds of sessions being offered. This will give you better detail to make informed decisions about the types of programming you may be interested in viewing. Next, let's talk about some of the networking capabilities of the platform. During your profile setup on first login, you'll be asked to answer a series of questions related to matchmaking. Your answers to these questions will supply you a list of attendees, exhibitors, and sessions that you might be interested in. At any time, a few of the attendees that you are matched with can be accessed here on the left-hand panel under Network, next to Navigation. As well, there is a left-hand menu item here called Matchmaking, which will bring you into the full matchmaking list. Here I'll be able to see suggested booths and suggested people that I may be interested in connecting with. You'll be able to rebuild your network by re-answering your questions if needed, or if you're interested in finding even more people that you may be interested in connecting with. You'll be able to view the booths and the profiles of each of these individuals as you please. If you're interested in connecting with more attendees, you can click here on the Attendees tab. The Attendees tab will give you information about all of the attendees at convention. This is where you'll be able to connect with attendees other than those on your match-made list. Here you'll see you're brought to a page with various areas that can be used to search and filter the attendee list. Enter information in here, press the search button, and you'll get a nice curated list of attendees that match your search criteria. If you want to browse the full attendee list, you'll click the button here. Then you'll see the full attendee list ordered alphabetically based on last name. When you find somebody in which you're interested in looking for, you can just click on the three button dots next to their profile in order to get quick access to send them either a direct message or start a group chat with them, or you can click on their full profile and view additional information about them, follow them, or take notes on them. Now, if you choose to follow them, they will show up in your followed list. At the top left-hand side menu, you'll see a star. That star icon brings you to a list of everybody that you have followed. It'll show not only attendees, but speakers, sessions, sponsors, exhibitors, etc. So this forms a really easy way for you to come back and follow up with any individuals or sessions in which you were interested in. So further down on this side navigation, you'll see a speakers button. When I open this up, I similarly see a list of all the speakers organized alphabetically by last name. I can change and move around to different tabs as needed. When I choose to click on a speaker's profile, I'll be brought to a page that shows information that they have chosen to share about themselves, as well as the sessions in which they are speaking, and again, the ability to follow them so that they will show up in your favorites followed items on the top. If you do send a message and choose to connect with a speaker or an attendee, you'll be notified when they send you a message back. So for example, you can see in the top left side of my navigation, there's an envelope icon. If I click on it, I'll be able to see all of my messages and group chats that I'm a part of. As I currently do not have any, it is showing blank. Here, I'll also be able to start new direct messages with anybody in the platform or start a new group chat. Both of these are handy buttons that make it really easy for you to connect with others. Now, in terms of meetings, you're able to request meetings with people, and this can be accessed through the My Meetings tab on the left-hand navigation. Here, you'll find a list of all your meetings that have been booked with you and any outstanding invites. You'll also be able to create a new meeting by pressing the button here, where you will decide the meeting name and invite attendees, create a description, a date, similar to what you would do in your email or calendar. If you want to network with people just via text and not have any video meetings, you can still continue to have large public discussions in our text chat lounges here. So our text chat lounges is a really incredible space where you can discuss topics with your peers. There are various topics here available to you, and when you click into a conversation, you'll be able to start a new conversation here in the center or respond to other people's posts. Now, there's one last way in which you can have fun and be social with everybody else attending convention, and that is through our social wall. If you scroll down to the bottom of your navigation, you'll see the social wall button. If you select this, you'll be brought to a page that is an in-platform only social feed, similar to Twitter and other social media networks, but only for the platform. Here, you'll be able to view posts by other people. Text, videos, photos are all possible. You can like ones that you're interested in, and you can even comment on them as well. If I want, I can make a whole new post myself. I can post a photo, or I can even just search through all of the options available. These are all the ways in which we suggest you network, but don't forget that there's also the exhibits section in which you can engage as well. By clicking on the Exhibits tab on the left-hand navigation menu, you're brought to our main exhibits landing page, where you'll see 8 different exhibit halls, all containing a variety of exhibitors. If I go into the PDAC Central exhibit hall, for example, I'll see a series of booths, all related to the PDAC, that can offer you some important and interesting information. For example, let's go into the PDAC Info Center booth. As I come in, there's the ability to book a meeting with the exhibitor and select which one of the representatives I'd like to book that meeting with. I'll be able to follow the exhibitor, and underneath that, I'll have a series of tabs that provide me various information about the exhibitor. For example, there's the Overview tab, which will include a description about the exhibitor and the ability to leave your business card, which will contain detailed information about you if you'd like the exhibitor to follow up with you. Next to that is the Exhibitor Info tab that features a series of information about the exhibitor, the Notes tab where you can continue to take private personal notes on the exhibitor should you wish to follow up. There are additional tabs that may appear depending on the offerings of the exhibitor, such as polls, should they have any polls they're looking for you to take part in, or highlights if they have any kind of special offers or things going on that they want to feature for you to note. Below the video and logo, you'll see the live chat space where you're able to write notes to the exhibitor. You're also then able to respond and reply to other people's messages here, should you wish to. You'll also be able to send direct messages and like the posts of others. Next to the live chat, you'll see the Representatives tab that will feature various representatives of the booth. By selecting one of these representatives, you'll be brought to their attendee profile, where you're able to message them, start a video call, and again, follow and add notes to them, just as you can with any other exhibitor. Now, if we go back to the exhibit hall, to PDAC Central, I can show you how the filters work. Here on the left-hand side, you'll see a series of filters that can be used in order to limit the exhibitors in which you are seeing. Remember that there is a clear filters button on the bottom that you can use as needed. Next to this, on all pages in the exhibit hall, is the network page, which will just show you a few of your recommended exhibitors that you may be interested in connecting with. One last thing to note is that there's a search for exhibitor field at the top, which will search the given hall for an exhibitor of your choice. If we go back to the main exhibit hall, you'll see that these filters remain here as well. If I select a certain category, such as drill equipment and compressors, and click filter, you'll now see that the numbers under each exhibit hall have changed to illustrate how many exhibitors in each hall meet filter requirements. If I now choose to enter the trade show this way, I'll be shown only those exhibitors that meet my filter requirements. If I like to change my filters, I can always click clear and start again. Another great feature that we have for convention is our Explore to Win page. So on the left navigation, if you scroll down, you'll see the Explore to Win button. When you click on this, you'll be brought to a page where you're able to see how many points you have earned and a leaderboard of how many points other people have earned and who our top reward winners are. Please join us to compete to be on the top of our leaderboard here and earn the most points to win great prizes. Now that you've seen all the amazing features that we have to offer during convention, I wanted to give you some information on where you can access some help should you be having any issues. On the left navigation menu here, you'll see down towards the bottom 2 places where you can access help. The Resource Center is a great place to go if you need some troubleshooting assistance or you might have some frequently asked questions. There you'll access various documents that'll be able to give you some assistance to work through your issues. Then further down, you'll see the Help Desk. This is a button that when selected will open up a field where you can type in your questions for our support team. Now, additionally, we have some other great little menu items here, such as our survey. Please give us your feedback on convention at the end. Additionally, if you are seeking any extra information about the PDAC or about our sponsors, you can access that on the briefcase menu on the sidebar here. The last feature I want to note for you is at the very top of our menu here, we see a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass is a wonderful button because it allows you to search keywords through the whole platform. For example, say I'm interested in a session about something metals related. I can type that in here and I'll see attendees and speakers and sessions, as well as sponsors and exhibitors, all related to what I have typed in my search. It's a very handy way to find more information. Thank you so much for watching this video and learning about everything that convention has to offer. We're really excited to have you part of convention and hope you have the best time with us. Thank you.